under the gun. Wake up, it's the first of the month. Open my pockets, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaders, run to the picture. Tell them the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Moving low key and dodging the fit. Scars on my heart, but the gold's in my head from the Bay to LA. I'm carrying the weight. They love you, they hate you, that's how they gon' play. 1600 where the powers of flex. Writing my story, no edits, no stress. Been on the block, all I know is the snakes. They plotting on my moves and they raising the stakes. Hopes in my vein, but the system's amazed. Every step that I take and it feels like a haze. Stretching my blessing, trying to double my weight. Lost some homies in the game, now I'm praying for them. They taxing my soul, but I'ma keep it real. Sign my name on the dotted line, blood on the deal. From the block to the White House, dodging all these traps. Got my city on my back, put my pain in the rap. Now I'm back on the grind and I'm running up the score. They thought I fall off, now I'm kicking down the door. Got the money in the pocket and the smoke in the air. Every move that I make makes a stop and stare. 1600 where the power resides. Speaking my truth, let it light up the sky. Free my dog, let the picture say grace. The scar on my soul, the story to trade.
Wake up, it's the first of the month. Open my pockets, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaders, run to the picture. Tell them the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Move through the dark where the power's concealed. And they promise they make it's part of the deal. Got hope on the chest and the weight on my back. In the land of the free and the chains on my back. They ain't watching my steps, trying to box my glow. I'm gone to be snake, keep my eyes on the goal. 16
Good morning.
Truth gets bird, I'm speaking my pain, every bar, every word. From town to the Ave, I'm repping my roots. Turn my losses into lessons, now I'm flipping that truth. Picture said it's done, but the war's still alive. I'm the king of my fate, watch you thrive and survive. I'm walking through the fire where the vipers hide. Tearing up the stage where the truth don't hide. Hope in the grip and the system device, making all these moves. Yeah, roll like a dice. Now I'm stretching my vision, trying to break through the lies. See the pain in the city, hear the streets when they cry. Texting my dream, trying to dim my light. But my heart's on the mission, let it burn all night. From the block to the Ave, I'm the voice of the lost. Pay the price for my freedom, never counting the cost. Picture said that we won, but the battle's my own. In the land of the snakes, I'm building my throne.
Wake up, it's the first of the month. Open my pockets, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaders, run to the picture. Tell them the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away.
Welcome to the show.
Free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. We don't got all morning, all right, to do the Lord's work. Good morning. Yes, nice to see all of you.
I feel like I'm stuck in a cycle. It's like I'm stuck in time. It's like a curse. And I can't escape it. It's like deja vu. It's me, Zeus.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so well, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac.
I got all these numbers on my
Big arm. Good morning.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie.
Ronnie.
It's my ex that mean they lost me.
Welcome.
They don't give me pies if they trust me. I said it with my chest cause
All right, here it goes.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Oh, really? Cut it out.
Call me the
All right, here it goes. Here it
master
goes.
with a new
Zeus haters right here.
I'ma take off in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I've gone into Zeus's live a couple of
That's a
days.
lie.
Yes. Shit was
Keep it
radical.
clean, please.
It was horrible.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the
Oh.
It's like deja vu.
See how they say that?
It's like deja vu.
Wow.
It's like deja vu.
Wow.
It's like deja vu.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this show started. Welcome to the show. You have to bear with me. Once again, we are gathered and we're back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host and I'm your pilot. And you know exactly why we are gathered here this morning, all right? But before we do that, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you tuning in, this is your first time, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. The second H is because, well, it's because I'm humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I'll be the first one to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, it most likely means you need to sit your special behind down and do what? Listen to this special broadcast, all right? I'm serious. And then the last and most important H out of all of them, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, everyone. Now, many of you know what we do. We get up here and we tell the truth and we shame the devil, especially as it relates to things going on in the MAGA cult, because we know that is what's needed to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons. Rick. Thank you so much, Rick. Who we all know are hell-bent on destroying this great country. But I am also aware that the Epstein survivors, they are also currently talking this morning. And so honestly, to be honest with you, that's why I was late, because I was actually listening to some of their harrowing testimony. And as a matter of fact, I think we ought to continue to listen to it, all right? And so that's maybe how the first part of this show goes. We'll keep listening to some of the testimony from the Epstein survivors. And my hope is that you remember I was talking to this woman yesterday, Taurus? Remember her? She came up here and just really did something and said a lot of things that just really, made me feel real sad about the state of affairs in America. I hope the conservative women out there especially, I hope y'all are listening, all right? Listening to these survivors and waking up just like they are. As a matter of fact, one of them actually says she voted for Donald Trump, and she's also alarmed. And so with that being said, and before we dive into that, let me double check and see what's going on in the audience right now. Any Trump voters out there? I just want to say this. If you are going to be getting triggered today, no need to report me. No need to get loud and show us all how terrible and nasty you can be. Just leave this live and you could go hang out with the fake TikTok host out there, because they'll lie to you. All right. Over here, we won't lie to you. We will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. All right. And get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed. And I take no responsibility for where the sparks start to fly. But I will say this. Please don't spam my comment section, MAGA, with hatred and misinformation, disinformation, and Trump's rhetoric, all right? What I want is for you to learn, all right? And so let's go ahead and tune in and see where we're at with the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. Today the bill is supposed to get passed, the Epstein Transparency Act, that Donald Trump has spent his entire second term fighting from being released. And we know why he's doing that, but they're speaking, which is an act of symbolism, but it also takes great courage. And I believe Ro Khanna, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and who else is there? Let me see. I forgot the third person. It'll come to be, ladies and gentlemen. Who's the third person? But they're there. Thomas Massey. Yeah, duh. They're there, and they're doing God's work in an unusual hour, all right?
You built an unbreakable wall, a barrier that will protect future generations from the horrors of abuse. As we gather here today, I urge each of you, members of Congress, advocates, and all those who hear this message, to join us in this fight. We demand justice, accountability, and support for survivors. And we keep getting asked this. What does justice mean, you ask? It starts with acknowledgement. That's the first step.
True.
Acknowledge in the face of survivors that this happened and that this is true. Your vote carries that weight. My sister is not a political tool for you to use. These survivors are not political tools for you to use. These are real stories, real trauma, and it's time for you to stop just talking about it and act. Vote yes. Virginia's legacy is not just hers. It belongs to all of us who stand against injustice. Together, we will ensure that the voices of survivors are heard, that the truth prevails, and that the horrors of the past are never repeated. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for standing with us. Together, we will not let Virginia's fight be in vain. Together, we will not let the predators win. Together, we will be the change this world desperately needs. Thank you.
It was so beautiful.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein in 1991.
Wow.
I always share the date when I talk about my story because people rarely acknowledge how long this has actually been going on. And for too long, truth has been buried, survivors have been silenced, and powerful people have been protected.
True.
And today we stand in a moment that will decide whether our government still belongs to the American people or to those who prey on them.
Let's go.
Because when mountains of evidence and decades of victim reports across 5 administrations still lead to sweetheart deals or no prosecution at all, this isn't just one case gone wrong. It's an institutional failure on a historic scale, and every member of Congress and this administration must answer for that failure. Millions of sexual abuse survivors know the pain of speaking up and watching the institutions that are meant to protect them look away. We're not alone in this. Epstein may be the headline, but the betrayal reaches every corner of our country.
So true.
And if our justice system can collapse this completely for so long, then Congress cannot pretend that the system is working.
Right.
Not for us, and not for the generations that will live with the consequences of what they choose now. One long overdue step towards repairing this damage is the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Because without transparency, there's no accountability. Without accountability, there is no justice. And without justice, democracy dies.
Yeah.
So representatives, you have a choice. To show millions of Americans whether you stand with us or with the powerful predators that are counting on your complicity.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good job.
Good morning. This is me.
Wow.
This was me.
Wow.
My name is Charlene Rochard, and I stand before you today not as a victim of rumor or conspiracy, but as a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. Far too long, survivors like me have been dismissed, silenced, are told that our pain was exaggerated or fabricated. Let me be clear. This is not a hoax.
Yes, it's not.
What we endured was real, and it has scarred lives across 5 presidential administrations. The truth has been buried in sealed files and hidden records for far too long. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is not just about survivors. It's about America. How can we keep America great if the principles the nation was founded on, that power belongs to the people, is not protected? No one, no matter how wealthy and well-connected, stands above the law.
Amen.
If we cannot face the truth, then we betray the very ideals that defines us as a country. By passing this act, Congress has the chance to prove that truth matters more than privilege.
Yes.
That justice matters more than influence. and that America has the courage to confront even the most uncomfortable realities.
True.
This is not just about survivors. It's about every American who believes in accountability, fairness, and the promise of justice. I stand here today not only for myself, but for every survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse who has carried this burden in silence, and for every citizen who believes that justice delayed is justice denied.
Yeah.
I want to thank Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey for standing with us. Thank you. And I especially want to thank Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her unwavering support, her courage to stand with us and demand transparency gives us strength. Thank you. It shows that this fight for accountability is bigger than politics. It's about humanity, justice, and truth. This is about America's future. It's about whether we, the people, will be heard when we have the courage to stand for truth and justice. Our voices are real. Our pain is real. And our demand for justice will not be silenced. Thank you.
Amen.
Good job. Good job. Go ahead. This is what we need more of. You MAGA men are done.
My name is Laura Bloom McGee. This is my first time speaking publicly about my abuse.
Wow.
As a young woman in New York City, I was pursuing a modeling career and building a life of giving back through my philanthropic work. Instead, I was intentionally groomed and became part of an international model sex trafficking ring
Modeling.
that was led by Jeffrey Epstein. I was sexually and mentally abused by Jeffrey Epstein. He used my dreams and vulnerabilities to silence me. Today, I am here to break that silence. Sex trafficking and sexual abuse are crimes against human beings, not political talking points.
Nope.
For too long, Epstein's abuse was an open secret, with his network remained protected. Evil thrives in darkness. We must shine a light on every corner where it hides. Nothing should be off limits in the search for truth.
Nothing.
Please vote that everything in the files be released. Let investigations proceed without obstruction. Demand oversight and deliver justice.
Yep.
The government must never side with predators. I come as one survivor, but I stand here for everyone who prayed for me, who believed in me, and who hoped for me. To my fellow survivors, your courage brought me here. We are more than victims. We are mothers, daughters, sisters, friends. This is not a hoax, and we will not be erased. Shame on any elected official who obstructs truth and justice for the American people. Thank you.
Thank you. That's directed at Donald Trump and his supporters. Stop committing obstruction of justice.
My name is Liz Stein. In 1994, I was a senior in college, just 21 years old. I had aspirations of attending law school after graduation, and it looked like I had a bright future ahead of me. 1994 was also the year I met Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein.
Wow.
My involvement with them changed the trajectory of my entire life. The Epstein files are not about loyalty to any one political party. They are evidence of a crime. We stand here today, victims of the crime of sex trafficking. I'm here today speaking both for my 21-year-old self and for the countless number of people who have experienced sexual violence. When I am asked what I would tell my younger self if I could say something, I say that I would tell myself to tell someone. And if they don't listen, to tell someone else. And to just keep telling until someone listens. And even if nobody listens to you, you should be proud of yourself because you stood in your uncomfortable truth when others could not. And that is true bravery. We stand here today as survivors, part of a sorority that none of us asked to join. We have told our stories over and over and over. Now it's time to see who was listening. We ask that you vote to release the files, all of them.
You hear that?
So the victims of this crime can finally see justice.
You hear that, Taurus?
Thank you.
Amen.
You hear that, Taurus and Carol? Carol, are you okay? I don't need none of that in my comments.
Well, hello, everyone, and I want to first say thank you for your ongoing leadership. I know it must not be easy thing to do, much like it's not easy for us to be doing this. So
right.
I guess we're in this together. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I feel like our courage has, we're reflecting, mirroring courage, because that's what it takes to do this, right? So this was me at 22 years old. I was not a child,
Wow, no.
technically.
Wow.
Very young adult. I imagine most of you here can relate to the mindset and to be 22 years old. So today is a good day, and I thank God for that.
Yeah.
It's widely and undeniably clear that our current political climate is quite rigid and seemingly at war with one another.
Unfortunately.
This sets a stage. This sets a stage for voices, survivor voices, to get spoken over and drowned out by the political darts whizzing by. Not today, though. Today, our truth and our power have steadily risen up. We are at the peak. Our voices prevail today. Our voices initiated the coming together of both political parties. That's pretty big, I think. Republicans and Democrats, we all stand together today. We all stand together for justice, and we must continue to do so to protect the integrity of our country and our democracy. Truth and justice must prevail. The children today are those that will lead this nation one day. Think about that.
Yeah.
What does that mean to each of you? If anyone doubts that this does not directly contribute to the fate of our country and democracy, I challenge you and I urge you to think again. Our voices are a fundamental pillar of future generations. Today, that's what we stand here for. Accountability,
Yep.
action,
Yep.
and justice.
Bingo.
Let's get this vote done today.
That's right.
Let's send it through the Senate and straight to President Trump's desk for signing.
Yeah.
I'd like to be there that day that he signs. I'm sure all of us would like to be
Yeah,
there.
invite him, Donald. Dirty Donald.
Today is a good day, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Dirty
Hey
Donald.
guys, we're
Invite him.
actually pressed for time, so we are not going to be taking questions. Going further, I bring back Rokana. He's going to do our closing conversation and comments.
Well, thank you, Hilly.
All right.
Teresa
All right,
is
so
right.
that's W's in the chat for the survivors. Oh, Fox isn't airing it. It's too much for the fragile MAGA male's ego, the fragile MAGA conservative woman's ego. They can't handle all this truth that's just came out. And this is just, I understand these shows lately. This is very heavy stuff. Honestly, if you're not mentally prepared, shows like this, it can do a number on you. But I encourage everyone to do what they got to do to take care of their mental health as we continue to go through this together as a nation. It's so sad, ladies and gentlemen. Each one of these survivors, and they say there's thousands of them, but this isn't. So when people say, oh, well, guess what? This person isn't in the files. No, you can't really say that because you can't speak for the thousands of survivors. Some of them, they're too afraid to even go on record and say what's going on. But every single one of them, it's the same story. This is me when I was, a young child. And after that discussion yesterday, I wanted to make sure Taurus understands why she's wrong. You can't tell these women when they should speak out. Listen to this. 20 plus years later, they're now actually speaking out. So you can't say it's a hoax. W to the survivors. MAGA Revolver 007. I invited you up here. I don't know what's gotten into you this morning, but obviously you didn't come in with the right attitude or with the right spirit. And so what I'll say is this: since you don't want to come up here and actually defend this nonsense you're spewing in the comment section, you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, mods, please do with MAGA Revolver as you wish. Join me in warming up the lake of fire. This is what I'm talking about. Instead of actually doing things to help rebuild this nation and make us great, MAGA is hell-bent on destroying this country by injecting and inflicting just pure evil on Americans and people of color or even immigrants. They don't care. They just want everybody to suffer because these folks are nothing but demons. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these MAGA demons where they belong, straight to hell. Burn, demon. Yeah.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Rick. It's a sad thing when Fox News doesn't want to talk about this. I know these blagga characters on TikTok, and I'll say them, Brother Dame, I wish you would do a lot more work on your platform speaking up for the survivors out here and holding your dear leader accountable. Instead, you want to continue to let let the puppet master, your white supremacist masters, you would love to let them just keep, controlling you like you're Pinocchio. But I want America to understand, Americans all over the country, they have woken up to who Donald Trump is, and Donald Trump is clearly losing his powers. Republicans, real Republicans, they're no longer listening to Donald Trump and his rhetoric. They see what type of time we're on. We want transparency when it comes to which of them, and actually even in the Democrats, I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. I don't care what corner they've crawled out. If they've done something terrible, they need to be held accountable. Case closed. That's a huge W, Zeus. Has anyone seen all these content creators, honestly, especially the ones on the conservative side? Have anyone seen them actually hosting lives and calling out Donald Trump? Has anyone seen them? I'm asking because you know me, I go on my backup account and I pop up on them like, Jack in the Box, and I try to get in conversations and debates with them. None of them want to talk about this. Ain't that something? Donald Trump said it's a hoax, but he's investigating a hoax. Think about that, MAGA. You can't have it both ways. Who investigates a hoax? It's like chasing your tail in a way. Think about all the millions and millions of dollars that are being wasted. But you'll sit on this app, TikTok, Truth or Lie Central. You'll go over there too. You'll go on X or you'll go on Facebook, wherever, YouTube, and you'll cry about your brother and sister out here getting a couple $100 to feed their family. You'll cry. Oh, I can't stand them getting $100 or $200 just to go get something to eat. SNAP benefits. But you cry about that, but you ain't got nothing to say. When they get born, because they like to say they're pro-life, and then they get born, and then they end up in an Epstein space. And you know what's so interesting? They say, all the victims and survivors, they say it happened when they were doing some sort of modeling thing. And the first thing I started to think to myself about, who do we all know was running a modeling organization and agency? Who do we all know was running a modeling agency? I'm going to ask the chat. Because I'll see. I'll see if they're honest. I'll see if y'all are being honest. Okay. Who was Epstein's best friend? I could do this all day long. I could literally fill up a wall. Whose name was Epstein always bringing up in this over 20,000 emails? They say over 60% of those 20,000 emails contained Jeffrey Epstein talking about Donald Trump. Now, if all these other people who've been named in the files, think about it, Andrew, I don't even call him Prince anymore because he's, you don't call him, all the other people. I think there was another person from the UK, whoever he was, yesterday, Larry Summers, all these other people, if they have to resign, right? Think about it. And they weren't even mentioned that much. Doesn't that mean Donald Trump definitely should resign? Doesn't that mean Donald Trump should definitely resign? His name is mentioned the most. If people who just got copied and CC'd on an email had to resign or whatever, it's crystal clear Donald Trump definitely needs to resign. W. Zeus. Impeach. And MAGA won't do it. Do I have anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump out there? Seriously. Is there anyone? WVIP. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump? Because you see him going after Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of his most fervent supporters. And any of you who've been following me for a while, and it's not just me, a lot of my associates on this app, we totally despised Marjorie Taylor Greene for all the harm she did. All right, we did. And trust me, no one was actually able to hit her with zingers like all of us on this show. And now I have to sit back and go, wow, she's actually making sense. And she's actually doing something that I believe she should do. I wish she would have done it a long time ago, but she's doing it now. And as a result of her doing it, Donald Trump is sicking his dogs on her. Trump is exceeding your expectations. All right, come on up here, Dunk. Dunk, you want to come on up here? You want to come on up here, Dunk? And go ahead and express to all of us how you came to that conclusion. And if you don't mind, Dunk, get a blank sheet of paper and perhaps a pencil with you, all right? And I want you to take notes on the stuff you're going to be saying. Dunk, you want to do that? Thank you, Little Hawk. Dunk doesn't want to get up here. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to dunk. We're going to dunk. Where are you going to dunk them? You know where we normally dunk these demons. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in dunking this MAGA demon, Dunk, who refuses to come up here and defend himself. Where he belongs, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
To be honest, I don't really want to talk to the MAGA men more so than I want to continue to have conversations with the CW's conservative women. Because I have a strange feeling that a lot of the CWs out there, as we get closer and closer to Donald Trump signing this bill, thank you, Little Hawk, bro, y'all are going to have a great awakening, right? And I'll give you an example. You notice Tiny Tank Top Tim always comes to my show. But I also notice he doesn't play my show when he's around his significant other. And I can tell you why. Because he doesn't want her to hear what freedom sounds like. He doesn't want her to know freedom exists. And he doesn't want her to know that his behavior is all tied to Donald Trump. But guess what, Tiny Tank Top Tim? The jig's up. Every day you go through that relationship as a failed individual, all she's going to be thinking about is Zeus was right. Big Zeus was right. He is nothing more than a wannabe, but no, she's not going to say wannabe. She's going to say he's nothing more than a broke wannabe Donald Trump. That's a huge W, Zeus. And that goes for, and I'd hate to say it because I got a lot of love in my heart for DJ, but DJ is so wrong. And it's the same thing with him. DJ, hey, bro, and even Snuggie, G-Man, you call him Snuggie. The Snuggie rhymes with Huggies. all of your women are going to eventually look at you and they're going to say, you're nothing but a broke version of Donald Trump. And you went and got all this merch from all this Trump merch, and none of it's actually helping you to be a better partner in life. And it just shows me every day you're a disgusting human being. And then, as a matter of fact, if I were them, they're probably already talking to their lawyers, plotting on getting a divorce, making sure by the time you come home, you're going to come home working one of those jobs that you think the immigrants took, right? You're going to come home and they're no longer going to be there. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. Oh, I'm going to be disappointed, Kimmy? Kimmy, you better not. Kimmy, please. You know I'm telling you the truth. That's why you're getting activated. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Kimmy, along with her conservative men out there that she's in love with, because I guess that woke her up. Join me in sending them straight to hell. I don't care.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
Kimmy, let me ask you a question, Kimmy. Do you think this is a hoax? Listen to what one of these survivors said this morning, Kimmy. Do you think this is a hoax? Listen up, all right? And use both of your ears. Use, how many brain cells does Kim? I'll give you 4. Use the 4 brain cells, all right? Both ears. Don't talk. Listen.
It is also not a hoax. We are here as American survivors of a man who used his wealth and power to hurt
Kimmy.
young girls and women. The world should see the files to know who Jeffrey Epstein was and how the system catered to him and failed us. Emotionally, this process has been distressing. First, the administration said it would release everything and applauded President Trump for that. Then it fought to release nothing. Now that checks and balances of our democracy have worked, and the bill is getting passed to release the files, we are hearing the administration say they intend to investigate various Democrats who were friends with Epstein. I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. It is not about you, President Trump. You are our president. Please start acting like it. Show some class. Show some real leadership. Show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment.
Kimmy. Front and center, Kimmy. Playtime's over, Kimmy. I genuinely think it is time for you to drop the shenanigans. I get it. You voted for Donald Trump, but you should have enough courage to call him out when he's wrong. If Marjorie Taylor Greene can do it, Kimmy, and these survivors can do it, why can't you? You think it's okay? You still think it's a hoax? Tiny Tank Top Tim. Did she implicate Donald Trump? I'll let you hear it again, okay? Because listen to it. Maybe I said you, and I thought you had 4 brain cells. All right, but use what you got.
It is not about you, President Trump. You are our president. Please start acting like it. Show some class. Show some real leadership. Show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment.
I think I heard her just mention Donald Trump, so that's a huge W to the survivors. And a huge W to Big Zeus. Anybody confused at this point? She wasn't telling Big Zeus all of that. She was telling Donald Trump. And isn't it so funny, ladies and gentlemen, especially to MAGA, isn't it so funny? The one time that Donald Trump actually shows the world that he knows how to do some sort of work, because, you know, he's been wealthy all his life. He's never had to work for anything. The one time he actually puts in work, what is he doing? Stopping the release of the Epstein files. I could do this all day, all night, actually. It's so easy to call out his hypocrisy. And now he goes on Lie Central. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead and vote yes on the releasing those Epstein files. It's time to put this all behind us and move on with all of my success. And I said, he ought to get a record. He should be in the Guinness Book of World Records for being able to, I guess, squeeze the most lies in one statement. He knows how to do it because, number one, they don't need his permission to go ahead and say yes. He's already lost that battle. Number two, what success? What has Donald Trump been successful at this entire administration, MAGA? What has he done? Viper. Okay, Viper, I'll take the bait. For those of you who can't see what this demon said in my comment section, he says Sleepy Joe is in the files. Well, what would he be doing in the files? Sleeping? Right? Is sleeping a crime? No. So that's not going to work. And the second thing is, let's just say he was. Why is Donald Trump protecting Sleepy Joe? See, this is what I'm talking about, MAGA. And I hope you can, Kimmy, you notice how Kimmy got real quiet, ladies and gentlemen? She doesn't want to say anything about this because she knows that I'm right and she's wrong. I don't want to talk about Joe Biden. I want to talk about why all of you like to pretend like y'all are Christians and go out here and harm children and then get real silent. Host lives and talk about, oh, I'm doing all this and that to help the community, help women and children. No, you're not. You're out here injecting and just inflicting all kinds of unimaginable harm. No, Kimmy. Let's not watch the vote. You don't get to say that, Kimmy. You don't get to say, let's watch the vote, because you didn't put any work into this. You've been spending all your time on TikTok and all over the internet just spreading nothing but hatred. And it's sad. All right, it's so sad that even in the middle of all this, and I'll say it again, you're watching your own Marjorie Taylor Greene get torn to shreds by your dear leader. And you haven't even gotten the courage to say anything. You know what that says to a lot of people? And maybe you don't know this, Kimmy, but people in your real life, they probably know, because I know a lot of them too, they probably know you're a Trump voter and all these things, but they're watching all of you Trump voters sit silently by and support Donald Trump and not have the courage to speak out. And you know what they say? If anything happens to me, you know what I won't do? I won't go tell Kimmy. That's what, because see, you don't see it that way, but they see it like that. If anything happens, I know Kimmy's not somebody that I can go to and talk to about it, because all she's going to do is turn around and blame me. Same thing with Taurus. You know, I had Taurus over here yesterday. Dame, brother, Dame too. And then they always try to put themselves out here like they're superheroes. No, you're not super with Taurus. You know, I had Taurus over here yesterday. Dame, brother, Dame too. And then they always try to put themselves out here like they're superheroes. No, you're not superheroes. You're super villains. And so what that means is, and I got to do it, ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire again. This is for all the super villains out there who are trying to pretend they're heroes. We see you for what you are. You're enablers. You're not American. No, don't ever say you're a patriot. No, you're disgusting, sick, vile creatures. And may hell be your portion. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these folks, these demons, straight to hell. They don't want me to pop.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Hey, I got some more for you, Kimmy. Listen up. You tell me if this is a hoax, all right?
Not here today.
Listen to this. This is another
of the United States of, and to the President of the United States of America, who's not here today. I want to send a clear message to you. While I do understand that your position has changed on the Epstein files, and I'm grateful that you have pledged to sign this bill, I can't help to be skeptical of what the agenda is. So, with that being said, I want to relay this message to you.
Go ahead.
I am traumatized. I am not stupid. I am traumatized. I am not stupid. You have put us through so much stress, the lockdowns, the halt of these procedures that were supposed to have happened 50 days ago. The Adelita Grijalva who waited to get sworn in, and then get upset when your own party goes against you because what is being done is wrong. It's not right. For your own self-serving purposes, this is America. This is land of the free. Land of the free. In 1863, we have a woman on top of the Capitol building represent freedom. I do not feel free today. I don't know if the women behind me feel free today.
You hear that? Remember how we've been telling you conservative women, you're out here, you're losing your rights, you're voluntarily surrendering your rights, and you keep going, what rights? You know, they like to say, what rights? I still have my freedoms. Well, listen to these survivors. They're calling it out right now in front of your face. Go to them, Kimmy and Taurus. And I say them, but it's the spirit in them that I'm addressing, so bear with me. Go to these survivors and tell them that this is all one big hoax.
So I am begging every member of Congress, every representative to step up and choose the chaos. Choose the survivors. Choose the children. Protect the children.
That part.
All children. You protect all of us equally. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. And that's a huge W to the survivors. You see what's going on in America right now, and I said, you know what? This is going to be something that we're going to all have to go back and revisit as time goes forward, because what we're dealing with right now is a great awakening and a great reckoning. I don't want to deal with MAGA, at least for today, until I change my mood, right? I don't want to debate nothing else about the economy. We don't need to debate the economy. Donald Trump is getting a solid F-. Actually, I'd give him a 0 if I could, but he at least is, he's waking up lying about the economy. So I'll give him an F- on the economy. There's nothing to debate. He hasn't cut our utility bills in half. End of discussion. And you know what makes me laugh? And I could go, and you all should, when I go to those red spaces, just listen to them. Is the utility bill cut in half? No. Oh, but Zeus, they'll go and they'll use their AI tools, and you could just tell they've done so much harm to their own AI tools, because AI is supposed to tell the truth. But the AI tool, after they get done with it, because they're full of a demon, they're possessed with a demon. The AI tools these MAGA demons have now have been totally compromised in ways you can't imagine. And now they're just waving the white flag every time they get asked a question. And they'll go to their AI tool, and the AI tool, it'll spit out something about the economy Joe Biden did. This is how their AI tools work now, because they're so programmed. It's trying to tell you, your AI tool is trying to tell you Donald Trump is doing bad, but you've been beat it up so much with all your MAGA rhetoric that it's just programmed to say something about Joe Biden. That's a huge W, Zeus. So these folks are stuck. They are stuck in reverse. It's like a transmission. Which way are you going? Reverse, all right? Because the rest of the gears don't work. I get it. The rest of the gears don't work with MAGA. The only way they could go is backwards. And so I'll say this, y'all, to the Trump voters out there, don't even try to go anywhere. Don't press the gas. Keep the emergency brake on, all right? And you just let Zeus keep ministering to your soul. That's a huge W, Zeus. The economy's bad. Trump's polling terrible on immigration. He's polling terrible on foreign policy. What else is he polling terrible on? Somebody throw something out there. We'll just go ahead and keep rattling it off. All right. What is he talking? Health. He's polling terrible when it comes to our health. He's polling terrible when it comes to our civil rights. He's polling terrible when it comes to 2A housing. Yeah. Look at this. So what? Housing, trade, yeah, he's getting his behind kicked. And they call him Taco. Trump always chickens out. He's actually, and this is the greatest, this is mastermind work Donald Trump has done. He does Liberation Day, places a tax on all of us, a peacetime tax. It was so bad, Mike Pence had to come out and say, this is bad. And it's bad when Mike Pence has to come out and say, even this is bad for me. But he proceeds to do it. Guess what? The cost of living just starts to skyrocket, going through the roof. Trump voters losing their jobs, losing their business because of these tariffs. Here we are now. He gets a total beating, what I'm talking about, in the special elections. And now he's panicking. And guess what he does? I'm going to roll back some of the tariffs now because, you know what? It actually was making things cost more. And I'm going to roll them back, and that's a lot of money in your pocket. And then I'm going to give you $2,000. This is what he did. And like pigs, pigs, they like slop. You know what that is, right? His base just rushed in there, put their faces in it, and oh gosh, Donald Trump is so smart. He's actually rolling back the taxes he put on us. That shows he cares. And I'm like, you don't even understand. He's basically putting it back to where Joe Biden had it, you knuckleheads. W, Crazy K. And so with that, I'll say this. Join me in sending these demons once again. Oh yeah, somebody put groceries in the chat. He's polling terrible on groceries. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, once again, warming up this lake of fire and sending these MAGA demons where they belong. Zeus, where are you sending them? straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Damon. The Epstein files, which means logically that every Republican in the Senate should vote to release the Epstein files. And then today, Donald Trump was asked if he would sign a bill delivered to him after passage in the House and the Senate to release the Epstein files, and he said this.
Watch it.
You urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. Some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't.
He wasn't? Bro. We know that you were with him a lot. And now we know you were at his house alone with one of the victims, one of the survivors. And you haven't explained that. Explain why you were home with that survivor all by yourself, champ.
At all.
Reality note, just have to interrupt here. Donald Trump spent more time with Jeffrey Epstein than any other political person mentioned in the Epstein files. Donald Trump is the only person, the only politician in the Epstein files who we've seen, as we are seeing right now, him captured on video and photographs, constantly partying with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein said he was Donald Trump's closest friend for 10 years, and he said that on tape. So no, the people Donald Trump wants to pretend were with Jeffrey Epstein all the time, as he put it, were not with Jeffrey Epstein nearly as much as Donald Trump was with Jeffrey Epstein at the peak of Jeffrey Epstein's criminal conduct before Jeffrey Epstein was ever charged with a crime. Here is how Donald Trump finished that answer about would he sign the legislation ordering the release of the Epstein files.
Go ahead, Lawrence.
I'm for any. I don't. They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends.
Didn't he used to be a Democrat? Didn't Trump used to be a Democrat? So he just told on himself.
In a tweet, Donald Trump threw Bill Clinton's name on a list of men and told this lie. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. Jeffrey Epstein himself, in writing, said Bill Clinton never set foot on Jeffrey Epstein's island.
You hear that, MAGA? Epstein said Bill Clinton never stepped foot on Epstein Island.
Clinton has said he never set foot on Jeffrey Epstein's island. And the records we have now of Bill Clinton's flights on Jeffrey Epstein's plane do not indicate that Bill Clinton spent more than 2 trips to Europe and Africa on the Epstein plane, with a number of stops on each of those trips in Europe and Africa. That looks like a lot of flights, but they are really just one trip with multiple stops.
Okay, so if you bring up the Clinton using the plane situation, it's just 2 trips at the end of the day, and he was borrowing Epstein's jet. Sort of like Donald Trump borrowed Epstein's jet when he was campaigning against Kamala Harris. Go look it up. So don't bring up borrowing the jet, MAGA, if that's what you want to try to say. You can't use that because if you use that, we'll get you with Donald Trump borrowing the jet too. W. Zeus. I know I'm hurting a lot of feelings out there. I know I'm making a lot of you Trump supporters cry. And that's what I want to do. I want you to cry, all right? Because you done made a terrible mistake.
Those trips were less than 2 weeks long. And so the Epstein files are still really about Donald Trump, no matter what Donald Trump tries to say.
You hear that, Tiny Take
Donald Trump proves that he thinks the Epstein files are about Donald Trump because he has decided that his otherwise flawless ally, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is now what he calls a traitor
because she was one of the original Republicans in the House supporting a vote on the release of the Epstein files. And Donald Trump, in tweets now, even after saying Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files, calls Marjorie Taylor Greene wacky Marjorie Traitor Brown and a traitor to our country.
Wow.
Marjorie Taylor Greene says those attacks by Donald Trump are putting her life in danger. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene is joining me in calling Donald Trump a liar.
Yep.
Something I've been doing since 2011.
Me too.
Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and he actually goes to this level. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. Most Republicans in the House and Senate have and do worship and serve Donald Trump. But if they see one or two, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie, not just survive by defying Donald Trump, but beat him, win in their defiance of Donald Trump, beat Donald Trump, beat him publicly,
beat him,
then Donald Trump's grip on this government is looser tonight than it was yesterday. There's going to be a massive rebellion against Donald Trump in the House of Representatives when that vote is conducted tomorrow, and Donald Trump knew that. He knew that that vote was coming. And so Donald Trump has been trying to label it as something other than a rebellion. Donald Trump is trying to label it as, now they're following his orders to vote to release the Epstein files. Thomas Massie has correctly identified what Donald Trump is really up to.
What is he doing?
And Donald Trump revealed that in a tweet on Friday when he said, quote, I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, JP Morgan Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. And so there's Donald Trump saying Pam Bondi was wrong on July 7th. The FBI was wrong. The Justice Department was wrong on July 7th when they put in writing in their case closed statement, quote, we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
So, remember Pam Bondi? I got the files on my desk. Remember that whole charade, MAGA? Then, right after July comes, oh, there's nobody else left to prosecute. This is all closed. Remember that? You all, then Ghislaine Maxwell, she gets moved to a minimum security prison, treated like royalty. And the best defense MAGA had was, he's doing that so that he can get to the bigger fish. Remember? But then I said, but remember, there is no bigger fish. Because he's getting ready to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, because Ghislaine Maxwell, if those files continue to come out, she's going to be able to paint the real picture about what really went down between Donald Trump and Epstein. And we could get into that in short order. And so now, because Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ro Khanna, and the survivors, they've done something that's totally impossible to do in this great country. They've united the party, and they said, we want to know, and this is what the bill is all about. We want to know what Donald Trump has done with Jeffrey Epstein. That's what this bill is about, plain and simple. We want to know what Donald Trump has done, all right? And also to get justice for the survivors. But if we're talking about it politically, because nobody, at least I know I can speak, who wants the leader of the free world, right? Who wants to think in their back of their mind that we're all kind of in one weird way reporting to somebody that could be a P3DO? Right? That's not how I want to be represented on the global stage. I don't want to be represented on a global stage in the back of my mind thinking that the person running the country, who clearly is doing a terrible job, to add insult to injury, is also a P3DO. That is something that was never, ever on my bingo card. And if somebody wanted to try to put it on my bingo card, I'd say, you better get that out of here because it's totally unacceptable. We'll deal with that. And so with that being said, this will be my next, my last round of Lake of Fire, and then I'll go and have conversation. And I might have to do it again, but let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire. This is for anybody else out there that's still supporting this person in the White House. A disgusting, vile individual. He's destroyed the entire East Wing. And it's just symbolism of what this entire presidency is, with promises of truly trying to make America great. But look at what happened today. We woke up and we're hearing harrowing stories about survivors of him and Epstein's crazy, wild relationship, and he's still fighting. He's fighting on the wrong side. Instead of fighting to have the files released, he's fighting to keep them hidden. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this MAGA demon where he belongs, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
That's a huge W. A huge W, Zeus. All right. Let's go to the audience, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And try to have some meaningful conversations out there with all the Americans out there who are just, wanting to weigh in on what's happening right now, because this is where we're at as a country. You wake up and you're hearing very, very sad stories just things going on in America you would think never would actually have to be discussed. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Somebody actually built up the courage to come up here. I think. Oh, I thought MAGA Revolver. I thought you were going to come up here and get your daily dose, but I guess you thought twice about that. All right, fair enough. W Zeus. Do I have any other Trump voters? Anybody want to at least come up in the box and say that they voted for Donald Trump and that they're done with him? All right, because I could give you some information about that. Seriously, I didn't think so. Yeah. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Where are all my critics and my detractors at? Not here. Isn't that interesting? Good morning. Who do we got? Takesha. Welcome to the show, Takesha. How you doing?
Hey Zeus, I just wanted to straighten something out right quick from yesterday. I don't want anybody to think that I would ever tell a victim/survivor that something didn't happen to them. But what I was trying to get Taurus to understand is that while she's saying those girls are lying, somebody could be saying she's lying as well. That's why I came up and did what I did when I said I don't believe you, because that's what she was saying about them. And I want her to understand how it feels for somebody to say I don't believe you while you telling somebody else you don't believe them when something has happened to you all similarly.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to put it in the person's face. That would be just like me, because I'm not homeless anymore, telling the homeless person, you need to get out the streets.
Yeah.
When I've been homeless myself.
Correct.
So sometimes you got to put it in the person's face to make them understand, just like you saying you don't believe them. Somebody could be saying they don't believe you either.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. W Takesha. And so that tells me, even as angry as you are about how Taurus and people like her get out here and say things, you still aren't going to throw away, your sense of humanity, so to speak.
No, Zeus, I would never do that. I don't care. Even if I don't like a person, I'm not going to tell them that what they said happened to them didn't happen, because I've been involved in that kind of stuff. So I understand.
Yeah.
But I just wanted her to understand that while you saying you don't believe them, I'm going to come up and say I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And maybe something will click. And you will get on board with those women don't have to get up there and lie. What is the purpose of all these years coming out, embarrassing yourself?
Yeah.
Because this stuff is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Just to get
it's traumatizing.
Yeah, just to pull a wahoo on somebody. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Stop, y'all. Until it's proven they lying, guess what? Stop saying they lying.
Thank you. And even if they want to go that route, doesn't it say something when they say, well, this is what I would do, right? And we would go and go through the system, so to speak, and try to get justice. And then you point to E. Jean Carroll, right?
Yes, Zeus.
And they go, oh, but that ain't right. And you sit there and go, I don't think they get it.
But Zeus, they was quick to believe all the victims of Bill Cosby. They ain't had no questions about those.
Speak on it.
But they got questions about everybody that said Trump did something. Now all them lying, but Donald Trump telling the truth. But Bill Cosby, all of them was telling the truth. You have to look at the pattern. Anything this man does, they flip it, Zeus, like a pancake in a skillet.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with people who have lost their common sense and giving it over for Trump sense.
Mm.
They don't have common sense, Zeus. They have Trump sense.
Yeah.
Whatever Trump say, they believe.
Yeah.
Whatever Trump say he didn't do, they believe. Now you out talking about all Jeffrey Epstein friends with Democrats. How do you know that Donald Trump? But see, that's what I told you the other week. That's how he keeps us divided.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be the radical left versus the right. And as long as he can keep it like that, Zeus, he gonna keep them folks on his side, because even when they come up, it's always the left. The left. No matter what the subject is, Zeus, is always the left. The left. They so programmed on the left, that they can't even get on the right side of the road.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is why I believe it's good that you are still keeping your, I say keeping your foot on the gas, so to speak, and exposing to these people that it's basically hypocrisy, right?
At its best.
Thank you. W to Keisha, ladies and gentlemen. But if you could, in all seriousness, since you wanted to clean that up, what do you say? Because I've seen not just Taurus, I've seen Kimmy, I've seen Carol. There's a lot of conservative women out there, Takesha. And even the survivor that spoke, you heard her say, I voted.
That's Zeus, and that's what makes it hard for me. You know what he did to other women before you went in that booth and cast your vote. You didn't have no sense of what happened to you had happened to somebody else up under this president, that you still took yourself in that booth and voted for a man who did to someone else what someone else did to you. That's the hurting part, Zeus. I wouldn't even get up there and say I voted for Donald Trump. I would be too embarrassed to say it, Zeus. I really would.
I heard it being said, and I said, God, you're gonna have to work on me, because why? How could?
Why would you vote for him when you heard the women, the countless women come out and say things? You heard exactly what he said, and then you still push what happened to them out your head, went behind that curtain, and voted for that man.
And I'm not an expert, but I had to assume this is bigger than what I imagined. And I don't know what it's like to be a victim at that level, so to speak, right? But I do believe to a degree your mind can, in a way, play tricks on you. I don't know this. I'm not a therapist or a psychologist, but that's why I'm kind of like, well, at the end of the day, it's actually probably okay, because now he actually has to hear it from a supporter. He can't use the whole "it's a Democrat" thing now. So,
but
it all,
this the last thing, Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
How can you expect this man to have empathy for what you went through when he didn't have enough empathy not to do it to somebody else?
I don't know what a man. If you're asking me in my state of mind that I am in now, I don't have an answer for you. You know, the code comes back. You know, hey, error in the code. But I don't know. But like I said, it hurt me to hear that being said. But I also realize it's not about me. And I'm going to, like you say, we got to do our part. We got to do our part to do the right thing, right? But it definitely does. It is perplexing in a way.
It is, but
somebody wrote she voted with her race. Yvette, don't do that. Yvette, don't do that. Yvette, don't get me on. Yvette, please don't do that.
Zeus.
Oh,
I'm gonna agree, but you still gotta have empathy. At the end of the day, we still gotta have empathy. We still gotta have empathy.
Okay, Takesha, but you know. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
We still gotta have
Yvette, I don't know why you put that in my head, Yvette, but
we still gotta have empathy, Zeus.
Wow. I'm gonna leave that alone right now.
We gotta show Christ in all situations, man. in all
Takesha,
situations.
Takesha, we gotta. I'm done. All right. Cause see now.
That's I'm finna go. I'm not fooling with you. You're not gonna take my joy today.
Okay.
Zeus.
I'm gonna leave it alone, but Yvette,
Leave it
please.
alone, Zeus.
WW Takesha. Thank you. See, y'all got to chat. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do about that, but I gotta meditate on that. Thank you. That's a huge W, Takesha. I gotta meditate on that one. That does something to me, and I'm not gonna lie. Hey, birthday boy. Hey, attacking. Oh, did I say it was your birthday? And I didn't. Yeah, we didn't get to celebrate your birthday, bro. You've been hiding.
I did.
Okay, well, I hope you're here seriously later on. I did. Okay, what do you got for me? I just threw that out there so you know and I know what it is, all right?
I know. So I just listened to Mike Johnson for the past 10 minutes as you were talking, and
okay.
He said he's going to vote for the bill, but I think there's some shenanigans that are going to happen when it comes to the Senate. He's trying to put a lot of blame on the Democrats. Why didn't Biden release this and all this stuff, right? Same stuff that we hear from people on this app. They're hearing it from him. I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you exactly how I think it's going to happen.
Fair enough.
Do you remember when Donald Trump, when he ran for his second term for the president, he did it a year ahead of time?
Yeah.
When you're a president, you can't be charged with a crime because of the policy, right?
Right.
So the presidency protected him. So he tried to use the same application by running for the presidency again because he thought that would stop from indictments happening and take him to court. He tried to use that policy.
Correct.
Donald Trump is going to sign the bill if it gets to him. But he's going to have Pam Bondi investigate the crime as a facade so they can't release the documents.
Yeah.
Because when an investigation's going on, don't they always say we can't release documents?
Yep.
Isn't that what we keep telling the Trump supporters? The Biden couldn't release the things because Maxwell was in court and we couldn't release the documents?
W attacking, and so Mike Johnson blamed Biden, but the reason Biden didn't do it is similar to the reason Trump is about to pull for why he says he can't do it. So look at that. These people, these I don't even want to call the people who vote for Trump people anymore. They're creatures. These are some of the most brainless creatures I've ever seen walking around in human bodies. It's sick.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you a question. When Biden was president, did the victims of Jeffrey Epstein come to the Capitol and speak out in front of the Capitol?
No, not that I remember.
Me neither. But they are now, correct?
Yes, they are.
How come the Republican Party hasn't invited them up into committee to be questioned, to be talked to, like they have requested from the Republican Party to do? I mean,
I'm looking in the audience to see if there's a demon out there that could actually give us a demonic response to that.
Yeah. How about this? I said this earlier. I was out early in my broadcast, and I ended mine. I told everybody to come support you because you're the bigger broadcaster. And I said, always support our big guys. So the thing is this. I said this earlier, that I don't care if Donald Trump is attached to touching an underage person in regards to these files. We already know what he has done out loud to adults. We already know what he has said in regards to doing certain activities with adults. We already know what he has said that he has done with certain activities behind closed doors, walking through dressing rooms with underage adults. He has already said that he has done inappropriate things out loud, out of his own mouth and his own actions. Let's hold him accountable for the things that he has said, for the things that he has done, for the things that he was adjudicated for the women that he has paid off. Hold him accountable for the inappropriateness with adults that we know of, instead of covering for him and a certain sector of the population deciding to throw away their ethics, their morals, and their values because one guy blows smoke up their rear end and makes them feel good. So we're going to protect him at all costs, even if it means that we have to turn a blind eye to a pervy guy who's in front of us right now, who's attacking the American citizens on our own streets with ICE agents, National Guards, rounding them up inappropriately because he can play Mr. Macho Man from behind a fence and thousands of people because he knows he can't get his butt kicked.
Wow. W attacking. Hit him with it.
By the way, we're going to go to war with Venezuela.
You think so?
I do. I think Donald Trump is waiting to send a missile to Venezuela. I think we're going to start a war with Venezuela because that is going to stop the 2026 midterms, and it's going to stop the 2028 presidential election. I think Donald Trump is laying a platform to do things that we know and don't want to think about, that he's laying a foundation. Okay. And it's another distraction to keep him from being held accountable in any way, shape, or form, especially with receiving illegal funds as a sitting president behind closed doors, which goes against our Constitution, that, again, a certain sector of the population don't care about because, again, he pats him on the head and makes him feel like good puppy. Yeah.
Wow. W attacking. Thank you.
All right, man. Be good. Are you wanting me to come back up?
8:30.
Okay.
Are you going to be available in about 35 minutes?
Yes, I will be available.
And we're going to celebrate his birthday that he's been hiding from me. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been following this man attacking on the app. You know, he's a decent person. He's misunderstood in so many ways, but I've been working on him, all right? All right, so that's a huge W attacking. Thank you.
All right, buddy. I'll be waiting. All right. Everybody be good. Everybody be safe.
All right. Moving it along. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have anybody else out there that supports Donald Trump? Anyone out there supporting Donald Trump in the audience? Could you please identify yourselves in the comment section? I want to make sure I get a little an opportunity to make change happen. All right. Anybody else out there supporting Donald Trump before we move on? I'll give him about 10 seconds. This is actually one of the favorite parts of the show. This tells me I have total control over the MAGA demons. I've subdued them. W Zeus. Somebody says, not Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. Isn't that something? You Tiny Tank Top Tim. No one likes you. And that's a sad thing, right? And instead of actually learning how to be a better person, what connections does Plaskett have with Epstein? I did see that, Kimmy, and you know what I say? That definitely needs to be 110% looked into. That's just how I personally feel. If what they're saying is true, she was getting text messages. Oh yeah, you got to be dealt with. And that's just how this has to be addressed. But can you say the same thing about your dear leader, Kimmy? Can you say the same thing about your dear leader, Kimmy? Because I tell you what. I know she wasn't in the emails that Epstein was writing. Exactly, W. Zeus. And see, that's how you deal with these demons. Yeah, that's how you deal with these demons. Okay, great. You know about that. But let's get back to where we're at right now. Why is your dear leader running and hiding from releasing the Epstein files? And Kimmy, I could play something for you. As a matter of fact, you should hear this, Kimmy. And I'm doing this for you. It's a cover-up video, all right? And they're saying, uh-oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Look at that. It might have been removed. Look at that. Oh, well, you know what? I'll find it. But in the meantime and in between time, let me go ahead and get my next guest up here. Good morning, Nutty. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Nutty. How can I help you?
So, first of all, good morning. Last week, last week you said, well, I used to call MTG, I used to call her
Yeah,
a
Marjorie. I used
traitor.
to call her Marjorie Taylor. I mean, Trader Green because of what she did on January
Correct.
6th.
Let's not make any mistake about it. She is still the same evil, vile piece of crap that she's always been. This is a great example for Taurus. That other disgusting, nasty piece of crap that was on this platform yesterday. This is a great example, Taurus, for you to look at MTG. The fact that she is no longer being romanticized by Donald Trump, this is the only reason she has changed her tune. If Donald Trump was still licking her little kitty, 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 if he was still licking that, she would still be the same vile, evil piece of crap that she's always been. But the fact that Donald Trump is now grabbing other women by the kitty and not Marjorie, Marjorie hates that. Marjorie no longer wants to give him the benefit that of every doubt that she's always done. Think about this. Think about this. When Parkland happened, when the young man from Parkland was on Capitol Hill, and she accosted him because Donald Trump always says that things like this, it just doesn't matter. So why is it now that she's against President Trump? Stop. You can still call her Marjorie Trader Green because she's still a traitor. She's still a traitor. She's still not representing the people of Georgia. And by the way, folks, just because someone is a representative of another state and another district, they still represent us because it is our collective money that's still paying them their salary, even during a shutdown. So we may not be able to vote for her. We may not be able to take her out of office, but she still represents, or supposed to represent, all of us. The same as Chuck Schumer, the same as Dick Durbin, the same as all these other fools who voted for the government to open. Because that got us where? Nowhere. It got us nowhere. So Marjorie is still a traitor. And the only reason she even signed on to the discharge because she knew she was going to rattle Donald Trump. And she did exactly what she knew she was going to do. So here's another thing.
You have anything to say about Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, if you don't mind? Because you're on a roll, and these are Nutty's opinions, and that's why I'm big Zeus. But I'm just curious to see if the mind has actually unlocked anything on those two as well, because
Well, so in an effort to keep it clean and all the way clean, Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, they're opportunists, just like Marjorie. They're opportunists. People weren't speaking their name like we used to within the last year. So they did something to get their name back out there. So it's one thing to be famous, and it's another thing to be infamous. But what's the connection between famous and infamous? You're being talked about. You're being talked about, whether it's infamous or famous, right? So they get their names back out there. It's for self-gratification. That's what it's for. Do I believe at any turn that they did this because they believe victims? No, not at all. Because they represent that disgusting gene that's in some women that Taurus displayed on this platform just yesterday. They display that same gene. They talked about Sydney when she's has great genes. They subscribe to all that kind of nonsense. So, yeah, I have nothing for them. But moving right along, though. Zeus, it's infuriating because the level of stupidity from U.S. citizens is palpable. If people knew government and how it works, we don't need a discharge petition. It's not needed. Because who is sitting in the Oval Office today? Can you answer that question for me?
Donald J. Disgusting Deranged Trump.
So why would he sign a discharge petition when he can, by the stroke of a pen, he can make it happen today? He can make it happen. So why do we need a discharge petition? The fact that he is yet again is peeing in our face and telling us it is a storm cloud, it's insane. Because he's going to sign something that he already has the power to do. Attacking is 1,000% correct, and I've been saying it for the last month. Why is it now that all of a sudden that Miss Grohalva has been sworn in and she was the 218th vote? Why is it all of a sudden he's now saying release them files? Release them files. When he could have released the files when he said release the files. There doesn't need to be a discharge petition. And it is correct. The DOJ will not do anything as long as there's an open investigation. Because we keep hearing, well, why didn't Biden do it? Why didn't Obama do it? Because you can't do it when there's an open investigation. And so now all of a sudden, he just had this light bulb moment, release the files. Attacking is correct. They're playing in our face once again. So he can say, see, I told them, but the fact that there's an investigation, we can't release them. We know the game, Don. Give it up. We know the game.
Exactly. W Nutty in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. Oh, wow, you left, bro? All right, W Nutty. I didn't know you were just going to drop like that, bro, but all right, fair enough. Huge W. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I saw somebody, there's a Zeus hater out there. Why don't you send me a guest request to the Zeus haters out there or anybody else still supporting Donald Trump, and what we'll do is we'll give you a good minute to let us know who you really are and what you're about, and then after that, I'll take care of the rest. All right, just identify yourselves in the comment section real quickly. All right. Thank you. I mean, it's just so interesting that you can just sit here and go, "Wow, it's clear MAGA doesn't understand the end is near," but the end is near for a reason. Oh, look at this. W's in the chat for RC Dub. Welcome, bro. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good to see you. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, I know you too. You're doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm actually I'm looking forward to seeing more of the hypocrisy coming out of the GOP, as if Jeffrey had said, "I know how I can take down Obama," or "I know how I can take down Biden," they wouldn't be going through every single scrap of paper, email, photograph, video he ever looked at.
Yeah.
I can take him down. I'm the one who can take him down. And by the way, how bad of a person do you have to be for a convicted P3DO to say you are beyond evil? I mean, what are we dealing with here? The fact that they're still trying to hide this, and they are going to try this ploy of it's an ongoing investigation, so now we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's weird because didn't Pam Bondi shut down the investigation in June or July, saying it was done?
She said it was nothing to investigate, no third parties. And
Interesting.
when you said it was a convicted P3DO saying that someone else was a bad person, was that someone else, Donald Trump, that he was referring to?
Indeed, it was.
Oh.
I mean, really, if that had been any other person he was referring to, wouldn't they want to talk to everybody that person knew, anybody and everybody they ever knew? And I'd like to see Ghislaine Maxwell interviewed by anybody but Trump's lawyers.
Oh.
How about not having Todd Blanche go and have a secret meeting with her where they're not recorded the entire time? They're not witnessed the entire time. We don't know what kind of deals they cut. And why is she being given favors? Why is she getting a puppy? This is just outrageous and in our faces. And the fact that so many MAGA are finally starting to see it. It's kind of like I said, they were so obsessed with getting him reelected.
Yeah.
That was the goal. They thought somehow their savior, dear leader, was going to solve everything for them because they fell for the con a third time.
Wow.
But now that they actually put him in place and to see what he's doing, now that they've actually achieved that goal and they don't really have anything else, they're somehow able to finally see him for somewhat of what he is. And now that, like you guys said, and like Attacking said, and Nutty said, now that she's being threatened by MAGA, now that she feels what it feels like to go against him, legitimately criticize him one time for one thing, and all of a sudden they all turn on her. And she's surprised. Like you couldn't see this coming. Like it doesn't always happen with everybody he's ever taken in. He will turn on you the minute you go against him, and it does not matter. He will send his minions after you. They will threaten you. You cannot be a part of MAGA unless you are willing to let him get away with everything.
Everything. W-Dub. Do you and do you think that's playing out on, especially like, you know, we go into these lives on TikTok. None of these Trump voters, none of these content creators that support Donald Trump will host a live about this particular topic. Why do you think that is?
Well, because if you drill down too much, you have to start exposing your own hypocrisy and willingness to lie for him again. You can't talk about any of these things with any kind of intellectual honesty without admitting that he's a creep. He told a 10-year-old that he'd be dating her soon.
And
he said when he was asked his age limit, he said 12. He
but what
ended
about
up
Biden,
landing on
Dubs?
12.
Biden diary sniffing. What about all that, Dubs? Come on, focus. What do you say?
Well, that's the difference between us. If his daughter had come out and made accusations, we'd want to hear it. But when Trump tells his own chief of staff that he still wants to sleep with his daughter, they don't want to hear it. Out of his own mouth, out of his own history of actions. The fact that he ran a pageant, the fact that he would sneak in, and actually not even sneak in, just admit that he walked in on teenagers who were undressing. They don't ever talk about the fact, and I'd love the media to start bringing this up.
Please.
John Casablancas. Where did Trump get his start with modeling? It was John Casablancas, a predatory agency he signed his own 13-year-old daughter up to model for, and he had 14-year-olds dancing for him so he could judge them in a Look of the Year contest, him and other billionaire or rich people by themselves. Can you imagine being a 14-year-old girl being told that you're going to model, and then all of a sudden you have to go dance in your underwear for a couple of old men as they judge whether or not you have a future?
No, I couldn't imagine me doing that, and it's just it makes my stomach hurt when you talk about stuff like that. Really, it's disgusting.
It's outrageous that we have gotten this far, and it shows that there's a culture of you know, we hear a lot of grape apologizing going on, and now even Megyn Kelly, who not that long ago was really adamant that anybody under 18 isn't old enough to consent. And now all of a sudden you hear the wiggle room that they're giving them. Oh, well, you know, he was just into barely legal. What is going on? Like, how far have we fallen to the point where not only can we elect someone like him, but there's millions of people who see what he is and still make excuses for it. It's disgusting beyond words.
Yeah, it's truly disgusting. W-Dubs, ladies and gentlemen, and W to the survivors. Thoughts about MGT? You heard Nutty up there. He said things about Marjorie. You know, we used to really get on Marjorie Taylor. I called her Marjorie Trader Green because I believe she's responsible for what happened on January 6th. What are your thoughts about that, honestly, though? Is she doing the right thing, or you think she's just doing this to score political points?
Well, it's kind of both, right? Like she's actually kind of almost accidentally doing the right thing by trying to save herself. So it's self-serving, but the fact that she's actually speaking out against these things, the fact that she apologized actually surprised me. Like, if you could apologize for what you've done and say, yeah, I've been a part of the toxic behavior and I'd like to see it change. Okay, fine. Good for you to have at least the bravery enough to say, yeah, I was part of the problem.
Huh.
But now we want to see going forward, are you really going to be part of the solution? Or is this just so you can get reelected somewhere and then you go back to your bullshit of going after people like David Hogg? Because the only reason she's had a change of heart is because she's seen from the inside what it's like to go against him and be attacked by his people.
Yeah.
So that's her saving herself ultimately.
Yeah.
But it's like in the end, it's kind of leading her to do the right thing almost by accident.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. W Dubs.
Wow.
So how do you think this is going to play out? Because I don't get to interact with you, when it's showtime, so to speak. But I'm curious. Epstein's brother is saying Trump got behind the release of the files, I believe, because the DOJ is perhaps going to scrub them before they are released. Have you heard about that?
Well, but they already have been, from what I understand. I'd like Congress to actually hold hearings with the 1,000 FBI agents that went through to scrub his name and tell us what they saw and what they scrubbed. Because at this point, you can't even really trust what's going to come out. Not fully. And you're going to have all these redactions and missing references. It's like, we need to start talking to the people who've seen these things beforehand. And the one thing they can't control is the stuff that's going to come out of his estate.
True.
They can't have scrubbed those things.
Thank you.
So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, they're going to try anything and everything they can to try to defend these people. But that's the difference between us. Even if it came out that Biden or even Obama, anybody, if anybody did anything and you got evidence against them, we want them to go down.
Thank you. What if they're a Democrat, though, Dubs?
Anybody and everybody. I don't care if it was my favorite person in the world. I used to love Bill Cosby. But after what came out, do you think I'm going to defend him, much less vote for him to run for office for something?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Where are we at? That's the whole thing. It used to be character first, right? We used to start with character.
Yeah.
If they're a good person, then they can represent us. Then we can debate policy.
Yeah.
But we elected somebody we all admit, and they even know, he's not a good person. Ask any Trump voter, is he a good example for your child? And watch them pause. Listen to the crickets. Yeah. They don't know how to really, if they address it at all, they'll admit, no, he's not. But that's not what it's for. Actually, it is. It used to be the thing. It used to be the person of the year. Remember how the president was often voted person of the year?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole point, was they were supposed to be the kind of person that represents America.
Yeah.
Americans in a good way.
Yeah.
And now we've elected, literally, like I used to say, we've elected the lizard brain of America, the worst aspects of ourselves, all in one person to represent us.
What a disgrace. And what a disgrace. W-Dub, do you remember that? Wasn't there an email exchange that they found in those files where Epstein said, would you leave this man alone with your kids? And it was a picture of Trump. You remember that? I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. And that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Epstein would actually put that in writing and say that in an email.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. We're seeing somebody who knew him best, who Trump himself said they were close friends. Jeff said he was Trump's closest friend for years. I mean, this is somebody who said these things when he didn't think it would come out. He was saying this on a personal level. He wasn't saying this to be public. So this is what he really thought. He's evil beyond belief. He's mad. He had early dementia in 2017. And this is somebody who knew him best.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a reason that they look at how many other predatory people have been around Trump. His own spiritual advisor got arrested for doing something with children.
Robert Morris, look it up.
Yep.
Look it up. Dubs is in line. W-Dubs.
I mean, you can't make this up. Like, if you were to greenlight this script, they would think it was absurd. The level of that's why people joke about the simulation broke. We're in a simulation and it broke. It's like it's testing us now to see what it can get away with, what we'll accept. But at some point, we really do have to start kind of pushing back on all this and actually making sure that we reset for the future. Because what you asked about what they're going to do in the next 12 months leading up to the midterms, 11 months leading up to the midterms, he will do anything and everything from starting the wag the dog and attacking Venezuela and who else knows what, to figuring out some way to instigate some riots maybe and then call the Insurrection Act.
Wow.
So we're going to have to be on our best behavior in a way too.
Yeah.
We can't really give him those excuses. I love the protests so far. You know, you've got the people in the frog outfits.
Yes.
That kind of made all the difference in a weird way. It diffused things, but also still made the point we need to make.
Thank you. Yeah, it does, and it points out how insane this thing has totally, evolved into with the whole mass deportation thing. So yeah, I agree, and we're going to keep our foot on the gas and continue to debunk these lies, these conspiracies, all in real time. All right, brother. But I appreciate
Absolutely.
You. All right.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for you. All right, it's a team effort. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, that's my good friend, Brother Dubs. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go on, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have anybody else out there supporting Donald Trump? I ask. I don't even know why I ask, because the way the show has evolved, it's turned into just basically us getting out here and putting a bunch of information out. Very rarely do we get the opportunity anymore to actually have a decent discussion with a Trump voter at this point in American history. And so, yeah, what today's November 18th, right, 2025, we're going to go on record and say the soul of MAGA. The soul of MAGA is on a serious decline. And it's because it's been totally obliterated by me, Big Zeus. Where are the conservative women at? Any conservative women out there? Any conservative women out there? I wanted to talk to you real quick. I want to see if I could get a little more truth in you before we move on. All right, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. You said conservative Lynn WZ Pop. I haven't heard from her in a while. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? It's been happening ever since I've been on this app. I've been on this app a long time, 4 years, I think, or maybe even longer. These people get out here and then they defend Donald Trump, and their hatred, I think it's hate that keeps MAGA glued to each other, right? It's hatred, all right? W. Kabira! Wow! Thank you. It's hatred that keeps MAGA glued together, but what they don't understand is when you use hatred to glue yourselves to one another, eventually the glue will break down, because that's not really how people really should come together. You should come together with genuine love, like we do on this show, right? This is a show about love, and they start turning on each other, and that's what we're seeing playing out right now in the cult right now. MAGA, the hate that combined, and what was their hate? They hated immigrants, right? They hated people of color. They hated women, right? They hated, and so that's what united MAGA, and Trump capitalized on it. But once you get rid of all those things that they've been pointing at, they turn on each other. The knives are out. Now they're turning on each other because they need someone else new to hate. All right? Now they don't trust each other. Oh, you did this to me. Oh, no, you did that to me. Oh. And then they're going to hold lives and call. I mean, I've seen it happening on the show, on this app. All right. And I see it happening right now. It's like, wow, I was on TikTok and I saw a call out live being done. And then look at this. Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling out Donald Trump. It's the same thing with MAGA. They hold call out lives when the trust erodes, so to speak. All right, and so just be on the lookout, MAGA. All right. Let me go back to the audience and bring up the next panelist. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next? Oh my goodness, AB Fresh, welcome to the show. I don't think I've spoken to you before. Good morning, AB Fresh. Welcome. I don't think AB Fresh is going to come up here. Okay, hold on. I got to talk to my brother Z-Pac. Oh, uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh. AB Fresh.
Oh, looks like AB Fresh did make it.
AB Fresh, send the guest request again. Don't worry about it. I get you up here. Good morning, Z-Pac. I didn't know I could do two at once, but what can I do? How can I help you, brother?
Well, I watched Mike Johnson this morning, and I watched him complaining about how the list that is, or this legislation or whatever it is that they voted on, doesn't protect the victims, and he has this whole list of information basically that he was upset about, and he said that we can't do anything about it in the House, but the Senate can amend it. So their goal is that the Senate is going to somehow amend this to protect sources and methods and to protect innocent people, not victims. And I thought that was very, very interesting because it it almost sounded like he was implying that somebody was indicted, but it was a failed indictment. So let me just make that simple. So that means that somebody that was involved with Jeffrey Epstein was maybe indicted, or there was a grand jury hearing that did not go through. Could that person have been Donald Trump? And the question is, if that is what they're trying to protect, right? It that is a very interesting way to go about saying it. Okay, we're protecting these innocent people and our sources and methods, but we're doing this because we also need to protect Donald Trump. So here's what we need to do. Here's what the House has to do. Here's what needs to happen. You need to call your senators, number one. You need to tell them that they can protect the victims, but they also need to release these files without scrubbing information that is
Z-Pop,
pertinent.
can I ask you a serious question? What would
Yeah.
they what would they need to protect Donald Trump from? Based on this narrative, right? I mean, let's just go on. What could they be possibly trying to protect him from?
Well, like I said, he could have been in a failed grand jury indictment with Jeffrey Epstein. There's probably a lot of information about the Katie Johnson thing. There's probably more information about financial transactions. There's probably a lot of things in there about Donald Trump that are going to dispute a lot of the things that have been told to us about Donald Trump. He was the caped crusader who stopped Jeffrey Epstein from being on Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe he knew of what was going on, right? Maybe he was aware of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. So that would be a total buzzkill to all of Donald Trump and MAGA, because they've run on this theory that Donald Trump was the hero. What if he wasn't? What if he was just complicit and they want to protect that information? That's why I think the House must release more information. The Democratic House must leak information that does not impact victims, so we actually get the real information before the Senate can do anything to it that would make it a scrub attempt, meaning like they're going to protect Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
So I would say call your senators. This is what I was about to say. Call your senators, right? And then also you need to, if we can, I don't know how we do this, but we need to pressure the Democratic House to basically hold on a second. Whatever information they have that they see,
Yeah.
they need to retain, so that when information is released from the Senate that is heavily redacted, maybe even Donald Trump's name is redacted, then at that point they can circle back and release that information. I think that would be with protecting every victim. We don't want to have them be out there, but I do think that is what they need to do, because there's going to be a lot of, the Senate is going to cover for Donald Trump. That's what's going to happen.
You know what bothers me though, honestly? If he is so innocent, right? And you hear what he says, it's the Democrats. Why is he making something so simple extremely complicated? That's the thing that bothers me about this. Because honestly, I woke up this morning, it's 2 days in a row, and this is, to me, very heavy things that we as a country are dealing with right now. And I think we do need to address it properly. But I'm thinking to myself, like, isn't there a healthier way for us to go through this? And everything that it takes to go through this in a healthy way, he's avoiding doing. And it just, to me, because, you know, we got to have disclaimers, Z-Pot, right? None of us can actually definitively say Donald Trump did this, you know. But I'm like this, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, do I really need to see that it's a duck before I come to a reasonable conclusion that it's a duck? You know?
Yeah, and I think this is why it's just so important that we keep the pressure on, and maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene will be the voice too that says what the Senate released is not accurate. Maybe she will, because Donald Trump's already turned on her. So I
Yeah.
think that at this point, if she comes out then and says, well, the Senate heavily changed the information that we voted on or something of that nature, I
Yeah.
think at that point you have House Democrats who really let us down in the past couple of weeks here. I think they can redeem themselves by coming out here strong and saying,
Yeah.
all right, let's just release this information that we have before it can be,
Yeah.
tacked up by his loyalists
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I think that's a
Yeah.
strategy that we have to keep moving on. And
Yeah.
remember, he's going to try to enact executive privilege. He's going to do everything he can to not release this.
This is
So
sad.
as excited as we are, we need to stay vigilant because he is going to, we may not see these. That we may
You're
not,
right.
because
You're right.
the Senate doesn't have to look at these for a long time.
Yeah.
I guess that there's no timestamp on when the Senate, if the Senate would review it, what happens. So I'm hoping that the minute that vote happens, it's leaked, right? So that information is available to us to see before it goes to the Senate for any amendments or any bullshit that they try to sprinkle on. Sorry, keep it clean. But I think that like that is what we're gonna see, and hopefully we can do that. I mean, hopefully we can, as a country, we can do that. We'll have to just wait and see. But I don't want to get everybody hyped up and excited. Today is just a vote. He already admitted they have the votes, so it's going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
So he admitted it's going to pass today.
Yeah.
His play is to move it to the Senate for amendments because they can do things that the House couldn't do with this. That's what he said.
Fair enough.
So I'll leave it at that.
All right.
And I'll let you guys discuss in the comments or if you want to add on to that. But I do think that that's what we need to do, moving forward.
We're going to do that and some more. And I think Thomas Massey, honestly, is prepared for that. It's some of the statements. He says things that are kind of cryptic that I think he's up to the challenge of standing up to Donald Trump and getting true justice for the survivors. Right. And so, but yes, to your point, we're going to have to continue to do our part, which means having difficult and hosting lives like this. All right.
Yep.
All right. WZ Pop, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat. Hey, Dame, don't talk about Z Pop, bro. He's not a culture vulture. I don't know where you're getting that rhetoric from. All right. But here's the thing, brother Dame. You really got to update your software. All right. Because the software that you're running on right now, it got a little bug in it called white supremacy. And every time you open your mouth and try to speak, I just see you out there just holding it up like this. And I go, this brother doesn't love himself and he doesn't love his country. W Lady Boss. He could be. So you have a problem with how people arrange letters, Dame? You get triggered just by how people arrange letters, and instead of recognizing it's actually honoring the late great Tupac Shakur, the rapper. You looked at it and you just got so triggered. I say this is what's the problem. This is why America's going down in degradation, ladies and gentlemen. That's a huge W. Zeus. Dame is a culture vulture. Look at that, and that came from a sister. You see that, Dame? I keep trying to tell you, bro. You seriously are on the wrong side. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, listen up. I wanted to add this, and this is about the Marjorie Taylor Greene, and then we're gonna do something like celebrate her birthday real quick, and then get up out of here. I want to say, you don't get to choose your bedfellows, especially in politics, and it's like committing crime. It's unfortunate who the people are that actually have firsthand knowledge of the crime. It's usually other criminals. And so with Marjorie Taylor Greene, unfortunately, she's been closer to Donald Trump than I would ever be. So honestly, she's going to have to be, it's going to be people in the orbit of Trump that flip on him that gets us closer to justice. And it's a difficult thing to embrace and accept, W Mama. It's the same thing that happened on January 6th. And yeah, do I trust him? Absolutely not. But we have to use them to get to the inner circle and destroy the demon. And so what we got to continue to do is make more Marjorie Taylor Greens. Honestly, we need to have Steve Bannon, not knowing who to trust, just like Marjorie's in that predicament, and just get all the content creators, have them all literally just turning on each other, and all the way into Susie Wiles, and you know who she is, because that's what the truth does. The truth cuts, separates, and divides. Yeah, and I'm gonna and it's happening in record speed because of lies like this. I mean, lives like this. All right. Now we got to move on to some very important matters. All right, in the kingdom, attacking. Are you here? I'm looking at the time, and I don't got all day to be up here, brother. All right, are you here, ladies? And attacking. Are you here? Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes, right there. W's in attack for attacking. You're back. So your birthday was when?
The 14th.
And you tried to run from Big Zeus and hide. You've been hiding on this app for days. And I told you if I catch you again on this show, I'm going to do it. And I just caught you. And so happy birthday, attacking. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know you're just like me in a way. You hate having to celebrate it.
Exactly.
But these are milestones. And I know that if it doesn't mean anything to you, it probably means a lot to all of us. All right.
But you want to know something?
What's that?
Because I never show my face on camera.
I
was showing my face everywhere. Nobody knew it was me.
You did?
I
Okay,
didn't.
fair enough. Well, you know what?
I was just teasing.
Fair enough. Well, fair enough. We're gonna go ahead and celebrate another milestone in the kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. You all know who attacking is. Love him or hate him, he's still consistent and persistent. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
And we're gonna sing happy birthday. You know what we do. Show him some love.
I heard it was somebody's birthday.
Hey!
I heard it was somebody's birthday. Yeah. PJ played a birthday song. Yeah. Today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday.
Today is my birthday. Today is my birthday.
Party getting lit and wild out.
Come and get wild. My birthday.
He can't control himself.
To you, yeah. Happy
Let's
birthday.
go!
Happy birthday.
Wow! Look at that!
Ladies and gentlemen, wow, thank you.
Let's go!
Wow. Holy cow.
Hey, bro, you put in the work. Let's go!
It's coming in. And my parents raised my
Let's go!
Somebody's birthday. Somebody's birthday.
Nobody does this. Nobody shows this kind of love on this platform. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Marissa. I see you, Kamira. Kara, hey, I see all of you. Emma, let's go. Woo. How you doing in the kingdom? We spread love, not hate. 2 days in a row. Nobody has recorded the show. Hey, wow.
Say it loud.
Somebody's birthday.
Today's your birthday. We gon'
Today's my birthday.
party getting lit and wild out. Come
Let's
let's
go.
kick it. We gon' sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I mean, and these are people you know. I don't know how they know you, but they love to show love. So thank you, everybody. Seriously, we didn't have to do this.
Thank you, everybody. Holy
Thank you.
cow.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No lies protected. Wow, look at all these people who love you. Now, I knew you.
Cow.
Didn't you have Mr. Piano Man as your name when I first ran into you on this app? Wasn't that your name, Mr. Piano Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. And an important thing about it is that was back when I was the love guru and stuff like that. And I just interacted with attacking. But we ran across these demons on TikTok, and it started with Snuggie. And ever since then, we've been on this,
Unibrow.
we've been on this mission to get the truth out here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Attacking is a great person. He didn't have to, and it's not just him. There's a lot of earlier people I ran into that we had to deal with this situation because they were promoting misinformation, and initially it was like a one-off, and it was like, you know what, we're done with it. We debunked them on that, but they kept coming back with the lies, and so I think that's right around when you changed your name to Attacking, and I had to go ahead and leave Mr. Crossing in the dust and become Big Zeus. So they've created us. You always say that.
The thing is this.
Mm-hmm.
You and I put out information to help people not be harmed. The people who we fight against, they put out information not understanding that the people who listen to them could be harmed by the things that they're saying. Like, don't listen to what the big, beautiful bill is going to do, taking away health care. Don't worry about the Democrats saying that the subsidies are going to be removed and health care is going to be, your premiums are going to go up. They are putting people's lives in danger. If somebody was to lose their life because of what they say, would they care? Would they know? No, they wouldn't. So they don't know if somebody that they're lying to or putting out false information to causes somebody to lose their life.
Bingo.
Because there's no way to contact them. So if they cause somebody to pass away because of false information that they give them, that's horrible. You and I don't do that. We tell them to look, verify what we say, check for yourself.
That part.
Check with your insurance provider. Ask them, insurance provider, is my premium going to go up double and triple like it's being told once the subsidies?
Like we did Scott, the guy in the truck. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah. So if they say yes, come back and say, Zeus, I hate you, Attacking, I hate you, but you were right. My premium is going to go up.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go up, come back and say, you guys were wrong, because we like to know that too, because not all insurance premiums are probably going to go up.
Right.
But it's the ones that are going to go up 200 or 300% because of the subsidies being removed.
True.
That people on the right-hand side are ignoring the truth.
Amen.
Check for yourself.
Bingo.
That's what we have always told you for all these past couple of years that I've been on, Zeus has been on. Check for yourself of what we say. Come back and correct us. Re-inform us of the things that we're putting out there, because we want to put out the correct information.
Bingo. Bingo, bingo. W Attacking.
Thank you, everybody. I actually got goosebumps on me right now, because I got goosebumps on me. I'm shocked.
Well, you deserve it. You know, you put in a lot of work, and we appreciate you. All right, brother. Now I got to get up out of here.
Man.
But ladies and gentlemen, W Attacking.
Everybody be good. Everybody be safe. Thank you so much, everybody.
All righty then. All right. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on real quickly. Let me see. Okay, I thought I saw something I needed to deal with. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes this broadcast. I got to wrap it up and get up out of here. I hope you all enjoyed the show. W's in the chat for the Epstein survivors. And all of the, Ro Khanna, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Thomas Massey for getting us to this point as a country so we can start getting justice out here. All right, I'm going to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because without you, this show honestly wouldn't be what it is. Definitely engaging, entertaining, and educational. All right, but on that note, I also got to give a round of boos and shame. And this goes out to all the Zeus haters. And they get out here and they just say a bunch of nasty, bad things about me, and I'll deal with them accordingly. And you know what? I didn't want to do this to him, but his name is Eugene. Eugene, are you out there? I'll put you in a different lake, but at a certain point, bro, you gotta knock it off, all right? Because I'm out here trying to slay these demons, and then you're out here trying to act like you're more handsome than Big Zeus? Absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. Let's deliver justice.
Silence, you MAGA.
And I told you, Eugene, you and Nutty, y'all got to do something about that Antifa demon, all right? It's not the MAGA demon, it's the Antifa demon, and it's getting you in a lot of trouble in the kingdom. W. Zeus. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your morning.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power. Pull some strings.
Idaho can.
Like a king.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top. Whistler energy, presidential, watch the ops. Drip too saucy, got the fit, hitting real different. 1600 on the throne, out here looking brilliant. No excuses, I'm the go on top of the blade. Foreign tax, make these clowns pay for all the shade. Bustin' moves, no mid, got the game in a choke. Yeeted the doubt, now my legacy hitting is bespoke. From the Bay to DC, I keep them on their toes. Level up in the blueprint, watch the empire grow. Go through all the fakes, now my circle A1. Moving 100, yeah, this race is hard to run. Bet I'm dripping, got the power, vision crystal clear. Stick with ambition, yeah, making history right here. Ops talking wild, but they cannot touch the throne. Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. Past the hate, got my foot on the gas. I'm bulletproof, yeah, my aura is built to last.
You hear that, Eugene?
Moving chestnut checkers. President got my game on the necklace. Level up, we taking over the spot. Drip too clean, get it poppin'. We ain't gon' never stop. No cap, we win. Yeah, flow on 1,000, 100, 1605 presidential. We found it.
Posted in the Capitol,
moving like I own the block. Riz game presidential, got the nation in a lock. Got the damage, yeah.
Lady Boss.
No facade, drip celestial, shining brighter than a star. Better calling shots, got the vision, HD clear. Slack, rip the moves, turn the dreams into chandeliers. Ops stay working, but they folding under all the pressure. 1600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. Stacking legacy bricks, every bar's a new crown. Trap soul in the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion, views from the East Wing prime. Residential, got the poles in the climb. In the calm, in the storm, got the world dropping bombs like I'm reading out of Psalms. Ops trying to glitch, but my code is unbreakable. Skibidi through the storm, legacy unshakable. Aiming to the air, right the city in my grip. Hey, getting real cold,
make the whole world flip. Busting off the charts, got the game in a trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. I come up with stuff like that. Y'all can't come up with that. That's why I'm the wrestler.
We ain't gonna never stop. No cap, we live.
Thank you, Lady Boss. We're out of here. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your